Hello, I'm Michelle,
And I'm Betsy.
and we are your guides on the magical Bali study abroad semester, which we would love for you to join us in. This will be in fall of 2023. So this is going to be a truly immersive educational experience where we learn by doing, we learn by literally immersing ourselves in the water, literally immersing ourselves into temple and culture and art and experience.
Why pick Bali of all the millions of places all over the world? Well, I have to say Michelle had the insight on that one, and she wanted to pick a place that is extremely different from Western culture. You will not find any place in the Western Hemisphere anything like Bali. You have Muslim culture, you have Hindu culture, you have Buddhist culture, you have Christian culture, all working in temperament together in an extraordinarily rich way. And you have arts and cultures interwoven with landscape, with rice cultivation, with marine lifestyle, with mountainous lifestyle, all interwoven in a spectacularly unique way. Again, I'm Betsy, and I'll be teaching the anthropology class, and I'll be teaching the sociology class. And the two classes I'll be teaching are Witchcraft, Magic, and Science, which is Anthropology 113, and it fits the IGETC requirement, Area 4A. And then I'll be teaching another class, Marriage, Family, and Intimacy, which will be looking at relationships and how they are constructed in Bali. And that also fits the IGETC requirement, Area 4G. And it's a great joy to be able to teach both classes. Because this culture is extremely spiritually strong, extremely artistic, extremely religious, and expressive on every level. And you will see a culture that whose politics, economics, art, and mythology interweave in ways that ours do not at all. And now, Michelle.
Yeah. So we've put together a program that hits a bunch of IGETC levels. So I'm Michelle Paddock, and I am a marine science and environmental science instructor. And I'm also active still as a scientist working with remote island communities in the West Pacific, helping to elevate Indigenous knowledge and culture. So I do weave over into that social science world, even though I'm not trained in that. So the courses that I'm going to be offering for you are marine biology, which fulfills your Area 5B with a lab, and also physical oceanography, because this will allow us to really understand the ecosystems that the organisms live in, and then look at all of the diversity of life. So here is the little island of Bali. It's a tiny part of Indonesia, but in an incredibly rich part. And we are going to be living in 4 different places on our adventure to Bali. So we are going to start, we'll fly into Denpasar, we'll spend our first couple of nights in Sanur, and then we'll drive up to Ubud, the cultural heart of Bali.
And here you're going to live in a I don't know, what do we call it? A
villa,
a beautiful villa surrounded by incredible rice fields and rice paddies, which have been cultivated for thousands of years. And you'll see how well integrated temple life is, family life is, and cultivation of rice is. You'll be welcomed there, and you'll get to know downtown Ubud. You'll see that it's very busy. It's also very artistic. You'll learn how to negotiate in market systems. You'll buy what you need there, because we all need to be dressed and wrapped in culturally appropriate clothing, and you can purchase that there. And then you'll have a chance to get to know this incredible landscape. This is the villa in which we'll be living. This is what some of the accommodations look like. You will be having 1 to 3 roommates, depending on what room you have. And trust us, it's extraordinary. You'll get to walk in the rice fields, and you'll get to learn how irrigation systems work, how water works, and why the land of Bali is so sacred to the Balinesian people. Ubud is also the place where we'll be immersing ourselves in a lot of artistic presentation. Hopefully we'll be at multiple performances, and you'll get to learn the meaning behind these performances and the ancient sacredness of why these performances still impact culture today. We'll be visiting many, many temples, and you'll need to dress and act appropriately, and such that you can really soak in the rich nature of these extraordinary, and very sacred places that we'll be in. You'll also get to experience Balinesian cooking, and you'll get to go to the market and learn what ingredients we need and be a part of making extraordinary food, which, by the way, is probably Michelle's and my favorite food on
ever.
planet Earth. Yeah, Balinesian food is exquisite. And then you'll be a part of a lot of, I've said this before, but festivities and ceremonies, and these come spontaneously. In other words, we might learn about some of these festivals the day before or the morning of, and we'll have to drop whatever we're doing and join into these festivities. So you'll have to have some ability to be spontaneous, because that's how our program will run. And then we're going to head up into the mountains, and Michelle will take it from here.
Okay, so when we leave Ubud, so you'll have that chance to get anchored in the amazingness of Bali, going into the mountains, and we'll go to some waterfalls and see some temples that are tucked away in the mountains, and then we'll slip down onto the north coast to one of my favorite happy places, Pemuteran. It's this beautiful bay with this vibrant coral reef, just steps, literally just 2 kicks from shore, that will allow us to really live our labs. So you can see this is where the hotel is that we're staying in, this incredible reef that fills that bay. And here's just some images of the resort where we are staying. And we'll be walking and swimming in this beach every day. This will be part of our lab. So just like in Ubud, where we were having experiential education by going to festival and ceremony and temple, here there will be more temples to go to, and we'll also finally be in the water a lot. And along the way too, it is one of our goals to really connect you with local organizations that are doing good work environmentally and culturally. And so in Pemuteran, we'll be working with an organization that does some turtle rescue and rehabilitation, and you'll probably get to release your own sea turtle. And we'll also be getting a chance to go to one of the world-class diving destinations, Nanjangan Island, which will be a little boat ride away. We'll go there several times, and it'll be a great place for you to see a diverse underwater world, as well as connect with some of the locals and some of the temples that are sitting on little islets off of Bali. Then from there, we will traverse all the way across to the east coast of Bali, where we will be in Candidasa. Candidasa is very different. You might have noticed that Pemuteran, that's a more dry climate, and Candidasa, you can see the beautiful volcano in the background, is more of that lush tropical landscape. This is where we'll be staying. It's got an incredible view. It'll be a slightly different experience because there's not a coral reef that you can swim right to shore from, but we'll get in these little boats and go to those offshore islands and snorkel around those. And we'll be bringing stuff back and be setting up our labs just right on the lawn there. And also spending some time in local gorgeous places like White Sand Beach, which is an incredible place to relax, but also has beautiful coral reefs underneath it. We will also be going to a nearby village to volunteer at a school. These are English schools, and I imagine you will probably find, as our last group of students did, lifelong relationships with these amazing Balinese youth. and drop into even more temples along the coast of Ahmed. And then we will head now to a little islet off of Bali in the south, and that is Nusa Lembongan. Nusa Lembongan and Nusa Penida are right together. They're just beautiful places, and we'll work with more environmental organizations like the Marine Megafauna Foundation, looking at manta rays, and we will explore the mangroves and see how the reefs there differ, and do some great rocky intertidal examinations and dancing in the sunsets. So all in all, just a huge number of incredible places. And the real key to this program is that we just want your education to be real and embodied. And we are going to be this incredible tribe, this deep family where we're living together, we're learning together, we're playing together, and we're really bringing all the best of the world into ourselves and sharing it out in community. So the nitty-gritty details, the whole program is just over $5,000, and but that does not include the flight, tuition, or books. But you'll see a bunch of breakfast, all the breakfast, a bunch of extra meals are included, all the in-country transportation. You are responsible for your own airfare, but we will be doing a group flight for those of you that want to travel together. And you will need to purchase snorkel gear. That'll be a required part of the biology and physical oceanography classes. And all of those details you can find by looking at the website or reaching out to us, and we'll be happy to answer any questions. And we're so excited to welcome you to Bali. Yeah.